I recently went on a trip to a farm in Agnes Waters towards the north of Queensland, Australia. In the farm, they grow a particular type of fruit that you might have heard called pitaya, Solanacereus or Hylocereus. It's a cactus fruit, and the cactus itself is also often used for grafting. If you've ever seen that classic graft cactus product at Bunnings, it's like a little red ball on a green triangular prism. It's that little triangular prism at the bottom is a Hylocereus, a dragon fruit. Anyway, it's probably, as besides or as well as prickly pear, the most popular cactus fruit that's consumed around the world. Although there is another one that people refer to as dragon fruit or sour dragon fruit, the Standouts species, but that's another thing entirely. Anyway, so we got a plane and we flew from Sydney to Brisbane because that's a cheap place to fly. Got a hire car and then drove a little over 6 hours to this farm. And we're in a bit of a rush because there's only one road in and out of this town, and there was a cyclone that was due to hit. So we got there just fine, and we had about an hour and a half or 2 hours of sunlight left to do some filming, check out the farm, and eat some cactus fruit before we had to drive another few hours on the road in, just so we could avoid getting stuck down there when the cyclone hit.
Have you done much grafting?
None.
It grows pretty fast, like I guess there's not a huge incentive to do it.
There's a huge incentive to graft. A lot of people graft their seeds.
Yep. Oh yeah, right. Have you grown much from seed?
We've just got some starting this year because it's our second year of being here.
Yep,
Yeah.
sure.
We don't have a tractor, we imported all the soil. So we've, yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, it's such a cool project.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the story of these fruits?
So this one's common red. This was the first one we grew. So this is on the bottom of our standards when we were talking.
Oh, I see. We're not excited about
We
this.
loved and got us into growing dragon fruit, but now we've had more varieties.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm
Would
going to
you
film
like
myself
me to
doing this.
film you?
Yeah, sure. Do that.
Bit.
Do that. Still good.
Yeah.
Still very good.
It's got
Very
more
good.
of a like slimy cactusy flavour at the end though. Like it's sweet at the start, but there's like a little aftertaste that comes through of more cactus, I find.
Well, how did this begin?
So we lived at Sunshine Beach.
Yeah.
And I did it all hover parenting, posting stuff, and then sort of went more into dragon fruit. And we always have done tube stock permaculture plants, but now we're just going straight into dragon fruit because they're our favourite, easier to post, more demand. Yeah, it takes us half the time instead of having to wrap tube stock and carefully put little skewers in so that they don't move up and down packaging. These we wrap in nice paper and then.
So it can take 15 minutes to prepare a package of tube stock plants.
Yeah, okay.
A cutting is literally 30 seconds.
Yeah, right.
And it's the efficiency, and we just like the fruit, like that it's not like a mango or apple, pear tree where
Just
you get...
because everyone else has them, or?
No, because you get one lot of fruit.
Oh, yeah, right.
What do I do with it?
It
We're
keeps
getting
fruiting.
our second and third, fourth blushes of fruit and flowers.
Right.
So they... Yeah, so...
Just the warmer months.
Yeah, just as soon as it turns, like summer's coming when you see things growing and start to flowering. And we also spray with liquid potash. So you can see this one's probably about 3 weeks off having a fruit, and then we've got more buds. So you're really getting like this awesome sequence of fruit. When you get it really happening, you're like every 2 weeks we should be picking fruit off each one. But we only spray liquid potash when the weather's right, like right now.
Grows. Is there one that you like the look of the most?
Or I really like the look of some of the ones that have red. So there's red crystal.
Red in the flower or on the fruit?
Red on the flesh.
Oh,
On the
yeah,
flower.
cool.
So
about this Edgar's spade here. It
Oh,
looks
yeah?
pretty good
All right, let's do that one.
because
too.
it's getting a little bit wrinkly.
Are all the flowers
That's
white?
washed up enough.
Yeah,
Now we've got
nice.
pink ones as well.
Awesome.
And I've pulled one off because you can make tea out of them, just to show you the petals.
Nice.
So that's my little pollen connecting kit. And we tie them up with grafting tape because other stuff causes rot when we get this humidity.
Okay.
So I don't like using it, like I try and be environmentally friendly, but it gets to a point where some things you've got to give on. I tried using jute and old cotton shirts and
yeah.
old sheets, and it's the
So-
only thing that's working for me, so I'll stick with it. And then this one, I always get this one wrong, Sinespars. He's got no thorns, so he's the only variety that doesn't have thorns.
Oh,
Season, and they were nibbling bits of the fruit. We have yeah. We've got wattles and I know. Gold. So this one was apparently bred in Bundaberg, and if you cross-pollinate it with a red, you can get fruit to 1.5 kilos.
what?
Yeah.
One fruit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of commercial growers want big fruit because they get better weight and better price then, but I like smaller fruit because it can fit in my kid's lunchbox. So if I was to breed something, it wouldn't be for that kind of commercial value.
Yeah.
That one too is amazing in flavour. It's tastes like a sweet can of lemonade.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
yeah, because you get kiwi fruit, grapefruit, grape flavours. Like there's almost every fruit in a dragon fruit.
The seeds, are they pretty similar to the kiwi fruit seeds? Like,
Some are crunchy and some you don't even know are
No,
there.
they-
So it
Yeah,
can that
cool.
can even, and the firmness of the flesh. Some are really firm, and then some are like jelly. Some are sort of don't please you texturally, and then others are like, oh, this one's really like I love the crunchy seeds and the refreshing firmness.
Yeah, they kind of pop in the mouth. Really spiky.
So some are
Spiky.
So some of them have spikes on their actual fruit as well. Like there's one down here, Aurora.
It's not quite there
in that
yet.
same
It's not
Megalanthus
right.
family.
Bit too hard.
It's gone soft, so I don't think it's actually ready.
Oh, I see. So what are you looking for when you?
Just a colour flush, but sometimes
So like the color changes.
yeah, and they become a little softer,
Mhm.
and that's quite soft, but it's obviously not ripe yet.
So, like, another
That's okay. We've got another one to try.
Yeah, cool.
This is pink pearl. That's going through its second blush as well, and these are only a year old.
Yeah, wow.
So they're fast growing. All these ones on shorter posts are only 6 months or 3 months old actually.
Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah, right. So like a single segment.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this one would have been this segment.
Yeah.
And then every thorn on the dragon fruit has the potential to produce a flower or a branch.
Yeah.
They
Nice.
typically do like doing it when they fall. And we'll even do things like just break off a thorn to stress them out a little bit. And then that can sometimes stimulate branches or flowers without using any like chemical stimulation. We don't treat our rust either.
Yeah.
So you'll see rust on, there's a really bad one over here. But it's kind of a good example anyway. See, this is that red colouring.
Oh, that you like.
Yeah, but it looked a lot better. We've had some really weird fruit where it's actually done the fruit after changing its mind again.
Wow.
Where it's like a 3-sided fruit.
That's awesome. Man, that is a wicked flower.
Yeah. And then when we moved, we hacked all the tops off them. So like this guy was, Maki Super was an old plant, but because we hacked all the tops off to move them because otherwise the branches would have bounced around in the trailer and broken.
Right.
And all these yellow ones, they're aborting. They haven't been pollinated. So just pull them off.
Beautiful.
But you can really see the difference in fruit. Because it's only 2 years. Like our number in our head of being a proper farm was like more like 3 years. I feel like we're not there. You know when you're like, oh, you can come have a look, but it's really not that
You
good.
got dreams. You got dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
So you know, oh, here's one of those mango beetles. If you want to have a look.
Yeah, okay.
So that's him there. So
And we're not a fan of this guy.
yeah, they eat all the new growth, and they'll even eat the
Sorry.
Yeah, you're gone, buddy.
It really does look like the trichocereus flower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite similar.
So I've done these little posts because when people walk around and it's like the end of the season, it's really boring.
Yeah.
It's just like you can see the differences, but
'Cause it's like
Around the fall.
yeah.
So pretty.
do they have variegation?
Oh, you've got any variegated ones?
I did get a variegated, but I killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Did they have variegated
some?
fruits?
Some of them do, some of them don't. But
Ooh.
I was talking to a guy at Ross Creek Tropicals about variegated fruit on the bananas,
Yeah.
and he's like, it will breed out itself. So
Yeah,
I don't know
sure.
if that's the same with dragon fruit.
Well, in my understanding, at least with variegated plants, there are ones that it will grow out of it, but
Yeah.
the good ones, some
Right.
really hold, or at least that's what breeders pursue.
Yeah.
They pursue the ones that have the consistency.
And because I'm after good tasting fruit, and the amount that people want to pay for that variegated, and most of the time it has to be grafted.
Oh, yeah.
I've just put it in the too hard basket.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, then tell me, like, what's your most expensive fruit? How does that work? And who's the buyer?
We don't sell fruit.
Okay.
I'm saving it for you to do taste
Aw,
testing, or
thank you.
if people come and camp, it's for them to taste, or
Yeah, cool.
like we're only in the second year, so
It's too early to try to be.
early. I've got a lineup of customers.
Yeah, right.
Amazing.
Cool.
Local
Great.
people, I'm getting texts. You go for a surf, and everyone's like, "Have you got any fruit?" And I'm like, "No, you guys are
Awesome.
funny."
Yeah, they're not for sale yet.
Yeah, they're not for sale.
Yeah, I like that. That's some good hype.
I can import them from a farm at Bundy, but he sprays them with all stuff that we don't want to use.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's also no
Regulation.
holding time on dragon fruit from spraying.
Okay.
So they haven't done the chemical testing yet. So you could buy dragon fruit from the shop and it could be sprayed with whatever you want.
Right.
They're basing it on mango trees, but it's not a mango. Yeah, so it's interesting. There's a Malaysian purple that's going to open tonight. These are the only two we've got opening. Like in a few weeks, we're going to have heaps, as you can see, but this guy and Supernova are going to open tonight. Hopefully.
Oh, nice.
You can sort of see.
Liam took a couple of flowers where he's like, being like, I'm not going to go away.
Don't even
today."
talk about it. Don't even talk about it. I've missed.
Yeah, and he's been like looking to see for like the last 2 years.
I've waited 6 years for this one to flower. It finally flowered this year. It had 5 flower buds. I missed every single one.
Starting to flush.
They're really yummy. They taste a bit sherbety.
Ooh.
So
Sounds
for
nice.
instance, like with the genetics of things, this is the USA Desert King. There's also one from Dragon Fruit Depot, which is in the Philippines, and then another place in the Philippines, and then there's a guy in Australia, Cactus Fruits Australia, who has also bred one from seed.
Oh, cool.
So now there's I've got 4 different Desert Kings growing, but are they the same?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so this is where I'm really curious. Are
You
they
know
just
the-
brother sisters, or are they relabeled across countries, or
The poor man's test is just to try to cross them and keep everything sterile.
yeah?
And if the cross doesn't work, you can assume, well, you can have a guess that they're the same.
Yeah, okay.
But you know, it's still a bit of effort. Like
Yeah,
genetics is really what you want to be sure.
yeah, that's it. This yellow megalanthus, it's really spiky.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
They're really delicious. They're really amazing, and definitely worth growing. But they're a real pain in the ass.
I love their spikes. They're just beautiful. That's my favorite.
They look awesome.
Aesthetic.
I'm like, I want that in some kind of jewelry.
So there's a dragon fruit society. So obviously, and you're selling cuttings. So
Yep.
other people are obviously growing these.
Yeah. This one was meant to have red curly fins, so it's named not red curly, and we've kept it because it's just such a prolific fruiter. And we cut way too much of it last year. We got too excited with giving away cuttings.
Oh yeah, everyone was loving it.
Because we loved it so much, you know, how you're just like, oh, this one's doing awesome this year. This is the best one we're growing at the moment. These are going through their 5th flush, I think.
Oh,
I don't
that
even
light
like
is
these
nice.
ones that much.
Oh no, what don't you
Also
like
one-
about these?
Just a bit boring
Yeah.
in flavour. Like, they've got a pretty flower. The fruit's quite attractive, especially growing green with those red fins, but it's not one that it's probably
So I don't know. That's
10 from the bottom of the list.
Sure, right. And
Yeah.
do you think you'd enjoy it more if you didn't have so many good options? Like, have you got to become accustomed to?
I think so.
I
Even
see.
our old favourite, like the common red, the first one I started
Yeah.
with, we taste it now and we go, oh,
Ah.
what did we think? Yeah, so I think it
It's ruined it for you. It's ruined it.
Yeah, and even we'll give, we'll go, oh, this one's a bit underripe, it's not sweet enough, and everyone's like, oh, this is fantastic.
Oh, must be nice. Must be nice here in your cactus fruit kingdom.
Yeah. And typically, like, if it's a really, really good one, it won't leave the paddock. Because we've been working in the sun mulching for half a day. There's nothing better than
I've
just
been
pulling
slaving
into
for
it.
this.
Yeah.
It's mine.
And especially like the first year, people are like, oh, I want to buy some fruit. I'm like, yeah, but we've just like spent 20 grand on soil.
Yeah, wow.
That fruit is worth more than what I'm willing to get $5 for.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of the thing I was thinking at when I'm out. Like, I don't even know if there must be, you know, an industry. I've heard of, you know, people in China buying the perfect apple for $5,000 or whatever, and it's like, I have that dream for you. That's what I want.
I've never even thought of that.
Yeah.
The most amazingly perfect dragon fruit.
Like, it's got to
I don't know
be.
if I'm that much of a perfectionist.
But you're right. People need to change their attitude, though. You can't have what you want when you want it. If you want unique stuff, you've got to take what's seasonal and what's.
We've done the honesty box, so we can just put stuff
Oh,
out
that's
there.
cute. Gosh, I wish I lived near you. I would love that honesty
so
box.
I'll just put them in brown paper bags with the name on it, and then if they like it, hopefully they'll come up back and buy cutting. Because I was cutting too much off out the front.
Okay, yeah.
It's
so
really
you keep it
messy,
separate
and
from
some
your.
of them have got sunburn. We're just redoing our system. Of
Sure,
how
sure.
Basically in an alphabetical order that snakes around everywhere. Because it's been trial and error over the years. And even people say, how long does it take for my dragon fruit to flower? Because they're cuttings, like, we've had them flowering. Well, that one looks like it could open. Or it was open last night. Or it's trying to open now. The bees are trying to force their way in.
We've also picked fruit from the year.
Just on occasion.
Yeah. Just where they've done it. And this is just an ongoing thing of we're trying to figure out the next best way of trying to do it so it's manageable
Sure.
as well.
Because it's a pretty big operation.
Yeah.
It's hard to figure out the most efficient way to do stuff.
Yeah. These all need to be thinned. That's our next job, is to thin out. There's too many per pot. I just got these coir logs to trial as well, just to see how they go.
Oh, yeah?
They're quite space sufficient, but whether it'll be too moist for them or not.
The local dairy company is going to be hunting us soon.
Yeah,
Looking for their milk crates.
Oh, I see. We'll just forget about that. Nothing to see here.
And we were selling tube stock out of the other nursery, but we've started just this week, started converting it. I thought all the varieties around the dam were going to grow amazing. They're some of the first ones we put in, but because the soil's all compacted and heavy clay, it's the worst growing area. All those are my regional ones. I cut the tops off, and they've hardly grown since we planted them. The same amount of fertiliser, same soil, same everything, but just... So you want to taste some?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
peel it like that and open it up.
Whereas, I guess you don't want your kids walking around with a kilo
Yeah,
watermelon
where
in
if
their
I put that in
backpack.
their lunchbox, that's just going to get mushed, gross. Where if I put this in their lunchbox, that would not come home.
Yeah.
Also, if people are just getting used to dragon fruit, the diuretic effect.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait. That was what I was laughing about, actually. When you were like, what are you smirking about? I'm like, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to...
The cleansing.
Yeah,
Very
but I was like, what happens if you're like, oh, wow, we're so excited to do all these things. I'm like, what happens if the main story is it has like a laxative or diuretic?
It does.
Yeah,
It
okay.
does because it's so rich in fibre.
I think it's worth the risk.
Yeah.
For a particular amount.
Yeah, that's white
It's a
sapphire.
nice colour.
Yeah, so you can sort of see this one looks even more jelly-like. So.
And you don't like the jelly, or you do? What was-
Sometimes it can mean they're a bit overripe.
Okay.
We did go away from it for a week and we left our sister-in-law in charge and she's like, I don't know whether to pick them yet or not because she's just learning.
Like a winey flavour.
Okay.
Yeah, this is overripe. But at least you can tell what.
Yeah, right. Just softer. Softer.
And it goes jelly. Where you think a few days earlier it should have had that little bit more sweetness.
Okay.
Then
See, I'm just like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's so good. So, but what's the rule of thumb with eating too much and regretting it? So, what kind of quantities? How does this?
Depends on how
Depends
much
on
fibre
how-
you're used to.
Oh, okay,
so
sure,
if
sure.
you're used to eating fruit and you eat your daily intake each day, that's fine. My daughter can eat 5.
Yeah,
Mhm.
cool.
I'm like, you can't eat 5, and she's like, yes, I can. But if you're low on fibre and you hoe into 5 dragon fruit, you're gonna know. Well, there was a lady down the road who went to Bali and ate so many that she said her wee started going red.
Really?
So that
Like
one's a
beetroot?
tiny little crimson. I think this one might be overripe as well.
Red crystal.
No, this said crimson.
What? That's such a distinct smell.
The better you feed them, the better flavour you're going to get in your fruit as well.
Right.
So it goes with it. You know how everything, like if you buy a shop bought quick growing
thing.
fruit, it tastes ordinary.
So tropical.
Just like nothing.
Yeah, or nothing. So that's another thing is like, and also the root development. So the first year of fruit's going to be, oh yeah, we got one. The second year is going to be like, oh, this is getting better. Third, fourth, fifth, bigger, better, because that root base is there. And even working all the microbes in the soil and stuff. Like we're only 2 years into that development. So one fruit again, like
Do you have a brief
Yeah.
measurement here?
it's at home. I've got a sugar test measurer that
But now I don't know if I like that one less than the first one, or my standards have raised very quickly, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no.
because I think I've been really impressed with this North Queensland red. I didn't expect much from it. I actually expected it to be Columbia Supreme Red that someone had renamed
Yeah, okay.
in the process because there's a lot of myth about that's just going to be this, where it's like no, that is so much more supreme than. But the name's boring.
Yeah.
The name is like plain.
Yeah.
It's not exciting. It's not like supernova or physical graffiti or
With something like
Halley's
Columbia,
Comet.
yeah.
It's just like Queensland Red.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Edgar's baby. You just
The provenance is it?
It's that one.
Yeah.
What Liam I think enjoys the most about cactus.
Yeah.
And so there must be all of that with this as well. If anything, it might be easier to get the seeds around a little bit. Is it?
Yeah. I think I don't know.
Yeah.
So now we're going into a different.
Edgar's baby.
I really like the sort of it's like little veins.
Yeah,
It's
so
like-
some of them are quite stringy in texture. Like so that's the one we just picked that's not cold.
Oh, I like it still. I like that. I like that a lot.
So it's got that same tang as a white, but it's not a white. So you can sort
Yeah,
of
well, I
see.
like the color. I like the color.
Oh, aesthetically amazing, and it stays more green. It's not one that goes red either.
Oh, okay.
So the other Edgar's baby is like that. but will be that colour. I'll save that one whole for you.
Similar to an Asunta.
Yeah, so there's Suntas here, all produced by the same person.
I think that's my favourite now.
So you can see that. Now you're in my book. Now you get me.
What?
Hey, now you're like,
Yeah, I'm like,
I
yeah, my
don't.
favourite.
Look how big the seeds are. Like,
I like those colours.
obviously, in like a few years, if you come back, our fruit should be a lot bigger than what they are because we would have nailed the soil more. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much
Oh, thank you.
more that's going to go into.
Have you got the names on those segments?
Oh my gosh, this
That's
has like a
maybe
really...
Like a subtle, like a.
I'll get a pen.
Like, am I even eating anything? It's smooth.
But it's not like a unpleasant subtleness. Like, so with the one I complained about, that one was like not enough flavour, but the
Yeah.
subtle is like it's like a subtle flavour rather than lacking of flavour.
It's like like a coconut water kind of thing. Where if you
Yeah,
have
nice,
coconut water
nice. Good description.
Than a can of lemonade or something. It's got that refreshing quality and a subtle taste that you don't feel. This one was one I thought was going to be the same. This is far north Queensland red or North Queensland red. I always.
And it does have a very similar like look, and the seeds look
Yeah,
the
but
same,
it's a
maybe
different colour still, and then you'll get the pretty similar. Hey.
Yeah. But
And the skin thickness will change. So the skin thickness is what a commercial grower will look for because it will be longer lasting. Tell me if there's a
more
difference between
distinct
that.
flavour. Yeah,
So,
definitely a more distinct flavour. Oh, I get my whole
so even though they
Thank you,
may
thank
look
you,
the
thank you.
same in comparison to the size, the flavours can still.
I like this more. This is
This one took me by surprise because I thought it was going to be
quite juicy as
exactly like Colombian Supreme Red, but it's got that firm. You know how we're talking about firm, crunchy seeds, like
Yeah.
a kiwi fruit more so.
well. There's almost a tinge at the end. Like it's not spicy at all, but there's something that I can
It's like a
feel
gelato
zing.
type zing, like a
Yeah.
little. It's like a refreshing, and they taste a lot better refrigerated. Like when you're eating them warm, they don't have that as much. As well.
same with San Pedro fruits for sure.
I'll save that one for you as well. We'll go with the boring, like the ones that I'm not impressed with, and work our way up. So Japan pink, you can see that the skin's thinner.
Yeah.
As well, so this wouldn't be as pleasing for a commercial grower.
I like that aesthetic though. It looks so deliberate.
pot.
Being like, I'm gonna do white with a pink circle
Or
around it. Like, yeah.
I get the melon baller and make salads with them.
Oh,
so it's all
yeah,
different
nice,
coloured melon
nice.
balls.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you,
Do you
thank
want
you.
a photo of you?
Nah,
doing
it's all
that?
right. We've seen enough of me.
Thank you.
I love the contrasting colour with this one, the pink, like that purpley colour.
Lemon. It's like a lemonade, like a yeah. But I like this as well. I do like it a lot.
That's why I sort of say you can almost get every fruit into a dragon fruit.
Yeah.
'Cause there's so, they vary so much.
This one is sweeter than the last one, I think.
And the flesh is softer.
It's
It's not as crunchy.
yeah.
There's a slight nectarine flavour. Bit of stone.
Meat finds a lot of stone fruit flavours in them.
I know it might be going against the current. That's my favourite so far.
Yeah?
Something
Yeah.
about that I really liked it.
That's why I find it hard when people go, what's the best one to plant and buy? Because do you like nectarine? Do you like lime?
Yeah,
Do you like
yeah.
watermelon?
It's subjective at the end of the day, right?
So this is that Colombian Supreme Red that a lot of commercial growers grow. And that's one that we don't rate as much. It suffers a little bit more rust. Oops. I think the
Thank you.
name sells it. If it had a different name, maybe people wouldn't be like, "Ooh, I want Colombian Supreme."
The Rare Dragon Fruit Farm has over 200 different dragon fruit cultivars, and I was only able to taste 11 of these. I focused on taste in trying to choose which one I preferred, and my plan is to breed the top two with my favourite San Pedro cultivars. So now I'll list for you those 11 in order of best to worst. Japan Pink, tropical pink, white sapphire, North Queensland red, cerise, Colombian supreme red, common red, Malaysian purple, Edgar's baby, X2, and Osunta 2. I think cactus fruits, both dragon fruit and San Pedro fruit, taste better when they've been put in the fridge for a few hours before eating. And whilst all of the fruits that I tasted had been stored in this way, they weren't all harvested under the ideal conditions, and I'm not even 100% sure what I think the ideal conditions would be in terms of choosing when to pick a fruit to get the texture that I preferred, whilst not taking a hit on appearance, aesthetics, flavour and other factors. So really I just tried to keep it simple and focus on taste and which taste I like the most. But I think appearance and texture and other factors are also going to be important, much like the thickness of the skin too. The farm rare dragon fruit were really accommodating, friendly and generous with their time and their plants and their fruit. You can buy their cuttings online and you can also camp at the dragon fruit farm. I hope in time that, as well as being able to offer these fruits for sale, that they'll also offer seeds and produce their own hybrids. They were very passionate, accommodating, environmentally conscientious and just great people. So I really encourage you to check their work out, visit if you can, and support them in their unique cactus path. Here's hoping we can get some of that dragon fruit on a San Pedro.